1,000 years of magnificent architecture only becomes ever more beautiful. Inside, it's the World Synchronized Skating Championships. Lou Tilley and Nancy Kerrigan taking you to Prague, where 16 nations have gathered for this growing event. And certainly this one close to our hearts. Nancy, from the United States, the Haydenettes. What a wonderful history of skating they have.
Yeah, they have 15 national chip titles under their belt. So they're very experienced and know how to compete. But this is their first year with any other coach. They've always had the same coach until this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they are as competitors.
Lynn Benson was their coach for a quarter of a century throughout their entire history. And now Sega Krantz, a native of Finland, takes over and tries to take them to their first medal ever. They've finished 4th place here in the Worlds a couple of times. In fact, for the last 3 seasons, the last 3 years. And here they sit in 5th place after the short program.
Straight lines. You see, when their arms are so tight to their sides like that, when they did the turns, they look really in good form because they don't have arms flailing, and you see the formation. Nice lifts.
Very serious looking facial expressions. It's a very serious music. Skating the soundtrack from Exotica here at the start.
Interesting, their skaters range from 15 years old to 22. Nice transition. Let's see if there's that triangle we see before going to the next. Very well done. The lines are a little bit off. Not quite straight, but really close together.
5th place after the short program. In order to move into medal contention, they need a minimum of 117.6 in scoring in this round for the U.S. to get their first ever medal in World Synchronized Skating.
Right, Lou, they look so serious. It almost doesn't look like they're having a really fun time out there, which I know from skating with them in shows, they really enjoy themselves in practices. There we go.
Yeah.
Nice moves in the field, the change of edge and the spirals there.
Team captains are 17-year-old. Make note of that. Kendra Flanagan and Shauna Luddy, who's just 20.
They're both redheads. Maybe they fire up the team a little bit. Guess that's stereotyping. But
those of you in New England know all about them. As we mentioned earlier, Nancy was once invited to skate with them, and she's had them in many of her ice shows.
So great to work with this team. I feel very fortunate to have been able to. This movement and isolation, nice spread eagles. Good positions. They're pretty far apart here, but coming together and turning, when they split past each other, they're going forward, so not quite as difficult as the top 2 teams who are making those turns back to back.
You've seen the Haydenettes a couple of times here on CN8, the Jimmy Fund, the Evening with Champions at Harvard University.
And here's their line, which isn't as straight as I've seen it sometimes in the past. It's a little off, and they're sort of wavering there. Just maybe not as tight as sometimes. Oh, and a fall. That's really tough. It's so sad because you know they practice over and over. In fact, in the winter season, they're practicing 10 hours on the ice and 4 hours a week off the ice.
Wow.
So these girls are together an awful lot. And some of them are college students, and so their scheduling, being different ages, are very different.
Boy, there wasn't much breathing room after the short program between places 1 through 8. The U.S. team, the Haydenettes that you're watching, in 5th place after the short. And again, trying to climb up at least into 3rd place for their first ever medal on the world stage.
That was a nice block we just saw. They were very, very close and very tight in that. And here in the circle, going in different directions, keeping circles. You can see the formation of the circle. It's not as tight as it has been at times in different competitions, but still you can see the circle. Oh, another fall. Oh, that is really too bad.
And you can clearly, if you've been watching from the beginning, see some of the difference between some of the European teams, the two Finnish teams and the Swedish team that we've seen skate.
The speed and the strength and the stroking alone, you could see that they're very, very strong, and that we're here, we don't see the speed as much in this team. And then not as together here as I'm sure they would like. You can see them, their end position, the lines are not very straight, and that's really too bad.
Haydenettes, a long trip, obviously, from Lexington, Massachusetts to the site of the World Championships, but some of their supporters, moms and dads and such, here at Prague for the World Championships. Haydenettes finished in 4th place the last 3 years, 15-time U.S. national champions, unseeded this year by the team that we'll see next from the University of Miami, Ohio.
Here, look at this lift. It's very interesting. All the girls in teams lifting. Nice,
that was nice
transition here with their triangle from one in the intersection. Twizzles right into the two lines. Very nice. Oh, that's too bad with the fall. Really sad because the line was nice and straight, and then it just throws everything off. That's very tough. Here, it just looks like she just leaned right back, lost an edge, and, you know, she was leaning so far back, there was no catching that to save it. The technical score, please. That's too bad.
The Haydenettes from Massachusetts, a little glum looking right now as they wait for their final scores.
They may end up dropping a little bit from this. It's too bad that there was too many mistakes, and it wasn't as strong as they are sometimes.
108 and change for the second-ranked team from the United States, the Haydenettes. And that total will actually drop them to 6th place in the current standing. But still to come from the University of Miami, Ohio, one of the United States collegiate skating teams. And that's still to come when we come back from Prague 2006 World Synchro Championships.